Hey, this is Mike Gingerich. Welcome to another Halftime Mike podcast. And today, I'm going to dive into a leadership topic. This one is going to be on the importance and value of being a leader, not a boss. All right. So I think that, over my career, I've had a number of leadership positions. I have been under people in leadership, and I have seen things rise and fall based on leadership. And I think that leadership is incredibly important in any organization and even in the sales process. Okay, so if you are in sales, I think that this is a value to you of how you come across and how you lead in the process of working with a company and a client so that they understand you. And because I think in the absence of leadership, there is a void that someone tries to fill. And if a leader is not fulfilling that, then it's open to interpretations, open to others kind of jumping in, and chaos can reign. All kinds of problems can start. As well, though, a leader needs to lead in a way that is helpful and productive in this day and age, and I like to define that as being a leader, not a boss. So let's go through a number of characteristics, 5 characteristics of a good leader. So the first one is that I'm going to say is humility. So the fact that a boss would come across and say that they know the way, they know the answers, they know this, they know that, and the other people don't, okay? But the opposite of that is humility. So where humility says, I'm thinking this from my perspective, but I want to be open to hear from your perspective. So it is a posture that doesn't say I know it all, doesn't demand, but comes across as clearly saying this is what I'm thinking, but I'm open, okay, and they want to hear. So a posture of humility is one that shows some flexibility, shows openness. It's a posture of open hand versus I know what I'm doing, fist closed kind of thing. So that's number one. The second is of a leader, not a boss, is a vision, not a dictatorship. So with vision, you are casting vision. And vision is saying, this is where we want to go. This is how we want our organization to function. This is what we want to accomplish with our organization, having some specifics out there about that. Okay, that's an overarching vision that everyone can, that's been communicated and everyone can rally around and understand. And then, but it is not you must do it this way, and versus creating a fear-based thing and a specific model that must be followed no matter what. Okay, so vision is this is the picture where we want to go. This is what we want to accomplish. Now the means to get there, that's what we're going to work at together. Again, saw that collaboration piece on that. So, but there is vision, there is direction on where we want to go. We want to go this way. We don't want to go this way. That we want to accomplish this, and so that people know how what they're doing fits into this whole picture. Okay, so that's important. The third thing is integrity. So leaders need to operate with integrity so that they're not stabbing people behind the back. They're not doing one thing and saying another thing, or requiring something of someone and doing something else themselves. So the integrity is this person can be trusted. This person can be trusted with decisions, responsibility, and the integrity means taking care of your team members, that you have their back, that you are backing them up. So I think that's incredibly important, that integrity is felt, that a subordinate, a person on the team doesn't feel undermined, doesn't feel in any way in danger or scared or fearful, but they feel cared for, they feel empowered, they feel confident. And so a leader with integrity models that and emulates that, so that it creates that environment for the team. Okay, that was the third one. The fourth one is empowerment. So it kind of comes back to that. If there is a vision, it's not a dictatorship saying you must do 1, 2, 3, and 4 to get there, and that's it. But it is saying that we want to get there, and we're going to need to have the opportunity to work together to create a pathway to get there. And so that's important to empower, so that a leader is not doing all the work, is not saying this is the work, you must do it this way, but is creating an environment and a structure where others can rise up and their ideas, their creativity can be invested and can be utilized for the betterment of it. So when people are empowered, they feel like they're given responsibility. When people are empowered, they feel like what they say matters. And when people are empowered, they know that they can put forth their best effort and be their best self, their creative self, and that will play into the whole and can contribute through who they are to the best. So empowerment is key in being a leader, not a boss. A boss just says you got to do it this way and there's no other way. I don't care what you think and what you do. All right, that was number 4. And number 5 is communication, okay? Leaders communicate well, communicate often, communicate in a way that is helpful, all right? Bosses are typically top-down dictators. They just say, do this and, don't get back to me unless it's done. But a leader is going to communicate, hey, this is what's happening, this is where we're going. So they're giving updates on the vision. This is how, Joe and his team made a contribution to our vision by doing these things in sales. This is how, Sam and his part did this and contributed to that. So they're communicating. They're helping recognize wins across the team. They're recognizing the value that someone is bringing. They're recognizing the helpfulness, the positivity, the contributions, and they're outlining what's coming up, so that people have an understanding, a big picture of how are we doing on this vision based on breaking it down into these time periods, these quarters, these monthly goals, those types of things. So and they're keeping everybody updated. So there's not a lot of hidden communication, lack of communication. So a boss is one that says, don't bother me, and I'll tell you if you need to know. But a leader is recognizing that people will be more invested if they understand and they feel like they're a part of the whole and they can contribute to the whole. So that's another key difference between a leader and a boss, and the keys that I want to get across to you. Now, why is this important, I think, is because with the Millennial Generation, just increasingly in the workplace, they're like 35% now, they're going to be over 50%. I think that they desire, they grew up in school systems which had a much more of a collaborative environment where there was value for their input, and so they're wired this way. And so if you want to utilize them, then being a leader, not a boss, you're going to turn them off if you're a boss. It's going to be most helpful to lead them in that direction. And now going back to that sales process, I think that when you're meeting with a customer, I think that you want to be, and if you embody these things, okay, but you're leading the process, okay, so you're there to learn what their needs are. So you do that with humility, but with direction. So you're asking questions, you're prepared, knowing some background on them, you've studied them, so you have some questions prepared to try to get the heart at what their needs are. And so you're trying to articulate that to make sure, restating that to say, do I have this, understood? And then you're, where do you want to be? That's the vision, right? In the sales process, where do you want to be? What's the goal? If we accomplish this, that's going to take care of your needs. Yes. So we're leading that process. So you're going to prepare that proposal, with integrity, and they're going to have communication along the way. These are the key things that we would do for you. These are the key things, the milestones. This is the time frame it would take. Lead that process, okay? That's what a good salesperson does, because in the absence of that, even after it's sold, in the absence of communication, that's when a client can get, questioning things. They can get nervous. They can try to jump in, and that's when situations can go haywire. But if you're proactive, a leader is proactive, with communication and with updates, with where it's going, with the vision of what it's going to be, with the timelines, and doing that in a respectful manner, building rapport with that person, that's going to make a huge difference. So when you talk about being a leader, not a boss, I encourage you to step back and reflect on yourself a little bit, your teams, how you can do that even better tomorrow and in the weeks ahead. All right, this was Mike